Fine. Then, first of all, the homework. What was your task? What was the homework? Please come in. Please come in. Nasir Hussain, you were absent today in the morning. Why? Don't do that. Be regular. Consistency is the most important condition to learn a language. Please come in. Unit 7 was, we didn't finish the homework that we were checking yesterday. Uh-oh. The wrong book. Tabriz, Sajid, why don't you realize that you guys have entered the class? Now you have to be in a different mindset to benefit from this class. If you continue in the same mindset as you are usually outside the class, it will be difficult to benefit from here. Trust me, please. So why don't you guys separate yourselves? Don't sit together. Don't sit in the same row or on the same bench. Okay? Sit at different places. And use the opportunity in the class to make new friends, to be with new people. Who? Nasir? Tabriz. Tabriz. You could use English instead of aage jao. You could simply say, okay, go sit in the front. It's an easy phrase to say in English. Go sit in the front. Next to who? Okay, where? Come. Tabriz, you too. Did you write some sentences with the word until? With the word by? Shashi, well done, Shashi. I will pass graduation by the end of 2027. Okay. I will write. I can understand you guys have limitations right now. I'll go to Delhi by 2025. Okay. We are not talking about a process here. You are not learning what I taught. You're writing sentences with the word by. I can't say that your sentence is wrong or something, but you didn't appreciate the idea I tried to give you. I talked about a process which by, helps you understand. Okay, if somebody says, I will have a bike by 2025, I will have a bike by 2025. What does that person suggest? Is that person going to buy the bike in 2025? No, not necessarily. Please, not necessarily. If something happens in a particular time, then we don't use by. We talk about if somebody says, I will have a bike in 2025, and somebody says, I will have a bike by 2025. What's the difference? Let's translate it into Hindi and understand the difference. I will have a bike in 2025. मेरे पास एक बाइक होगी 2025 में, एंड मेरे पास एक बाइक होगी 2025 तक. Okay, so what does that person suggest when he says I will have a bike in 2025? He clearly says that in 2025 he will buy a bike. But when somebody says I will have a bike by 2025, he's kind of giving you a limit, okay, that and maybe he's saving money now. All right. And he wants to say that maybe before 2025 or by 2025, he will have a bike. So there is a process of saving money that comes to your mind. I will have a bike. I have started saving and I will have a bike by 2025. So by 2025 means it will not happen again in 2025 and by 2025. Please appreciate the difference. In 2025 refers to that year only, but by 2025 brings to your mind the idea of 2025 and the time before. हिंदी में बोलता हूं, बट 2025 बाय 2025 बोलने का मतलब है खाली 2025 नहीं, उसके पहले वाले टाइम को भी दिमाग में ले आना, और इसलिए हिंदी होते है 2025 तक या आते आते, इसलिए पीछे वाला टाइम लेके चल रहे हैं। और जब इन 2025 बोलते हैं सिर्फ उसी साल की बात करते हैं 2025 में। ठीक है, देख 2027 आते आते मेरे पास 1 करोड़ रुपया होगा, तो इसका मतलब 2027 में 1 करोड़ रुपया होगा नहीं, उसकी प्रोसेस होगी। ठीक है, तो ये बात आपको समझनी है। तो आप लोग जो सेंटेंसेस लिख रहे हैं, गुड आफ्टरनून, जो सेंटेंसेस लिख रहे हैं थोड़ा सा उसमें दिमाग लगा लीजिएगा, है ना। बहुत अच्छे। वी विल बी यूजिंग 6G इंटरनेट बाय द एंड ऑफ 2026. I will shift in Delhi by the end of January. Okay, Rudra, good job. My friend started impressing a girl in December and she finally said yes by the end of 2023. Okay. I will definitely take a job by the end of 2025. My friend will marry her by 2026. इसका मतलब शादी 2026 में होगी जरूरी नहीं है, पहले भी हो सकती है, पहले भी हो सकती है, यही पॉइंट है, राइट। और इन 2026 बोल दें माय फ्रेंड विल मैरी इन 2026, तो वो 2026 में होगी, उसके पहले का कोई मामला नहीं है। तो बाई बोलने से, हाँ बाद में फोटो देख लेंगे क्लास के बाद, गर्ल्स, या यू आर लुकिंग एट सम फोटोज, राइट, देन व्हाट आर यू लुकिंग एट? Yes, Raj Lakshmi, please tell us. Na, she has written some sentences, but she has not put them in the group. पैसा चाहिए? Do you need money to put your sentences in the group? नहीं मिलेगा। साजिद, he married her, married to नहीं, married her। marry अगर verb है तो marry somebody, फिल्मों में सुना, will you marry me, will you marry me, will you marry me। अरसलान, आज क्या रीजन है बेटा, आज भी आप नहीं थे वहां, बोलो कि नहीं आएंगे सर, हमको नहीं पढ़ना। अच्छा, ये बात कितनी बार कही है तुमने? रुको पहले, कितनी बार कही है तुमने मुझे? ओके थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, डोंट वरी, सीख जाएंगे। खाली याद रखना जो सेंटेंस पढ़े वो वाला, वो सेंटेंस दिमाग में हमेशा रहना चाहिए जो पढ़े। कौन सा है? Until 1910 the actors were not named, एक ये हो गया, और बाई वाला, the first film cinema started in 1905 and by 1907 there were 4,000 Nickelodeons. Okay, we will, it's not the last time I'm teaching you this word. I'm going to teach you this word by and until many more times. Okay, there will be many more sentences. इससे ये पता चलता है कि अगर कोई कॉन्सेप्ट एक बार क्लास में सिखाया जाए, ग्रामेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट, तो स्टूडेंट्स को समझ जाए, एक्सेप्ट कर ले, जरूरी नहीं है। लेकिन अगर वो बार बार आपको रिवीजन मिलते जाए सेंटेंसेस के साथ, तो वो थोड़ा 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 करके दवा की तरह असर कर जाता है, एक बार सीसी डालने से नहीं होती। तो चलिए देखते हैं। Until 1910, the actors were not named. that the actors were not named until 1910. It means the actors were named in 1910. उसके पहले नहीं होता था. The actors were not named until 1910. The actors were not named. उनका नाम नहीं लिखा जाता था. The actors were not. दोहरा लो. दोहरा लो. नीचे देख के दोहराए. बोल नहीं पाए. दिमाग में नहीं था कुछ. सब नीचे चले गए. जैसे मैंने कहा दोहरा लो, सब ऐसे हो गए. क्यों? दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था? I have serious problem with that. कि जब मैं दोहराने के बोलूं तो सब ऐसे कर ले. ऐसे नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. ऐसे यस 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 किस बात के लिए बोल रहे थे? क्या लिखा था वहां पे नीचे जो लिखा था किताब में? ऊपर करो दिमाग चेहरा और बोलो क्या लिखा था. तो फिर ये क्यों हुआ था? सारे लोग करीब करीब 5 6 7 बच्चे एक साथ ऐसे कर गए. जैसे मैंने कहा दोहराने के लिए. तो क्या था? यानी दिमाग खाली है, कुछ नहीं वहां पे. Until 1910, until 1947, India was not independent. Right? Until 3 o'clock, there was nobody in this class. Okay? Got it? Actually, there were some people. Yeah, some people come early. Okay. Next. With the longer films, अब ये सब इंग्लिश है. शुरुआत में लिखा विद द लॉन्गर फिल्म्स. ये सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, ये एक्स्ट्रा बात है. सब्जेक्ट है their names started verb. So with the longer films, फिल्में लंबी होती गई उस वजह से. With the longer films, their names started to appear on a screen. तो सचिन, it has been more than a month, almost a month you left, right? You are coming back after a month's gap, right? So of course you're going to have more problems now, okay? But show patience, okay? And try and understand. Where were we? With the longer films, their names started to appear on screen. With the longer films. Okay, films became longer, as you know. So with the longer films, okay, yeah, their names means whose names? The names of the actors, their names, the names of the, okay, their names. Their क्यों लिखा? His क्यों नहीं लिखा? Actors plural. His means एक actor का नाम. Okay, his name मतलब एक का नाम. We are talking about actors plural. So their names started to appear on a screen. Yeah, their names started to appear on a screen. आने लगे. And you know nowadays you see names are on the screen when you go to watch. In and as Bazigar, Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, okay. And the idea of film stars was born. And now ये sentence बोलने के लिए बहुत simple सा sentence है. The idea of film stars was born. कितने लोग समझे? इस बात का मतलब एक तो सेंटेंस है, वर्ड्स हैं, लेकिन शब्द में गहन कुछ बात छुपी है. क्या बताइए? अमिताभ बच्चन क्यों है? इतना बड़ा नाम क्यों है? वो उसको इतने लोग क्यों जानते हैं? Why are there so many people crazy about him? Why is he considered a star? You'll say, sir, because he's so good, he's tall, he's successful and all this. But all these things would mean nothing if people didn't know his name. Imagine you saw hundreds of Amitabh Bachchan films, but you don't know what that guy is called. You don't know his name. Then how do you talk about him? How do you write about him in magazines? So actually, when the names started to appear, people started recognizing the actors. And that's how the idea of film stars was born. आजकल film actors और film stars में फर्क, you know the difference. Shah Rukh Khan is not just a film actor, he's a film star. So a star is an actor who has become very, very successful and very famous, very popular. So for popularity, imagine you guys don't know my name. I come here, I teach, you like me a lot, you like the way I teach and everything, but you don't know my name. then how will you talk about me? Got it? So the idea of film stars was born because of the mention of the names on screen, right? Because the names of the actors were mentioned on screen. They started to appear on screen. And this is how people got to know their names and started talking about them. And then there were stories in the newspaper, there were stories about them in magazines, and slowly they became popular. The idea of film stars was born. कोई भी चीज पैदा होता है तो कैसे लिखते हैं? Was born, right? Okay. तो ऐसे जाके फिल्म स्टार्स बनने लगे इस वजह से. उसके पहले there were actors, but they were not popular because nobody knew their names. Okay, next. 1910 to 1927, Hollywood is born. Okay, हॉलीवुड का जन्म हो जाता है इस दौरान. Okay, अब हॉलीवुड कैसे जन्म लेता है देखते हैं. Okay, ये सब फिगरेटिव सेंटेंसेस हैं. भाषा फिगरेटिव मतलब समझदार लोगों की भाषा. बच्चे सीधी सीधी बातें करते हैं, सीधा सीधा. दूध दो मम्मी, हम पढ़ने नहीं जाएंगे, बस इतनी बात है. ठीक है. लेकिन यहाँ लिखा हॉलीवुड इज बोर्न, हॉलीवुड का जन्म होता है. हॉलीवुड का जन्म होता है. हॉलीवुड कोई लड़का है, लड़की है? तो फिर जन्म कैसे होता है? मतलब समझ आ जाएगा. पढ़िए. इन द अर्ली ईयर्स, इन द अर्ली, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? हाँ, शुरुआती सालों में. गाली गलौज वाला बात बोल रहा है सालों, और ये वो तुम लोग गलत कर रहे हो यार, ऐसा नहीं करते. क्लास क्लास है, रिस्पेक्ट करिए. सालों और भतीजों और बहनों, ये क्या तरीका है? रिस्पेक्ट नहीं है टीचर की? क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? ओके, शुरुआती सालों में. अच्छा, टीचर भी वही बोल रहा है. अच्छा चलो कोई नहीं. शुरुआती सालों में इन द अर्ली ईयर्स. किस चीज के शुरुआती सालों में? पता है किस चीज के शुरुआती सालों में? बताओ कि नहीं पता. नहीं, किस चीज के शुरुआती सालों में? फिल्म हिस्ट्री के. फिल्म जब शुरू, सिनेमा हॉल बनने शुरू हुए, उनके शुरुआती सालों में. इन द अर्ली ईयर्स अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर मेड इन और नियर न्यूयॉर्क. ओके, नाउ सपोज आप एक पैसेज लिख रहे हो, पैराग्राफ लिख रहे हो एसटीसी पे, सोनी ट्यूटोरियल क्लासेस इंस्टीट्यूट पे. तो आप लिखोगे सोनी ट्यूटोरियल क्लासेस इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर इंस्टीट्यूट इन बिहार शरीफ, राइट? देयर हैव बीन अ लॉट ऑफ सक्सेसफुल स्टूडेंट्स ओवर द इयर्स. पता नहीं ओवर द इयर्स पढ़ा है मैंने? ओवर द इयर्स फ्रेज पढ़ा है? ओवर द इयर्स, अच्छा नहीं पढ़ा है, कोई बात नहीं, नहीं पढ़ा है ओवर द इयर्स. ओके, नेवर माइंड. ओवर द इयर्स नहीं पढ़े हम लोग. Okay, no problems. Okay, STC has produced a lot of successful students. In the early years, it was located next to my Vanna Cinema. अब पता चल गया. In the early years, in the, अच्छा स्लो जाता हूँ मैं, स्लो जाता हूँ, मेरी गलती है बेटा. STC was FVC is a very popular institute in Bihar Sharif. ऐसा पहला लाइन लिखते हैं normally. ठीक है. It has produced a lot of successful English speakers, English learners of students of English. Okay, आगे देखते हैं. अगर आपको बोलना है शुरुआती साल में, मतलब शुरुआत में ये वन्ना सिनेमा के पास था, तो कैसे बोलेंगे? In the early years, it was located in or near Vandana Cinema, near Vandana Cinema. Okay, in the early years it was located near Vandana Cinema. तो इन दी अर्ली ईयर्स किस चीज के शुरुआती सालों में? एसटीसी के शुरुआती सालों में, राइट? ओके, सुना. They got married. Okay, in the early years they did not face any problems with each other. In the early years यहाँ किस चीज को रेफर करा? In the early years of marriage. तो ये जब कॉन्टेक्स्ट होता है ना, तो चीजें आसानी से समझ में आ जाती हैं. आपको पिछले लाइन से कनेक्ट करने की आदत डेवलप करनी होगी. कोई भी चीज सुन रहे, सब जवाब दे रहे, तो पीछे क्या बोला गया उसको एक्नॉलेज करना जरूरी है, दिमाग में रखना जरूरी है. भूल के नहीं बात कर सकते. इन द अर्ली ईयर्स अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर मेड. अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर, कौन बनाता था ये नहीं लिखा है. अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर मेड, अमेरिकन फिल्में बनाई जाती थी. अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर मेड इन न्यूयॉर्क और नियर न्यूयॉर्क. ओके, न्यूयॉर्क वाज द सेंटर. They made the films in New York, or they made the films near New York. But in 1910, many film companies moved to California. Many film companies moved to California because of the sunshine. Because of the sunshine means sunlight. So which place had more sunshine? California. New York has less sunshine. So because of the sunshine, a lot of companies, many film companies, moved to California. Moved to California. वो चली गई California में बनाएंगे फिल्में. They moved to California because of the sunshine, because of and the scenery. So which place had more sunshine and more scenery? California had better sunshine and better scenery. All right, because of the sunshine and the scenery. Okay, so if somebody wants to make a film in India, beautiful, if they want beautiful scenery, where will they go? To Bihar or Kashmir? Right, obviously. Okay, so because of the sunshine and the scenery, दोनों भाई, the two brothers had a fight. The two brothers had a, आगे बोलना, एक लड़की की वजह से, because of a girl, पैसे की वजह से, because of, okay, तुम्हारी वजह से, all right, my life is hell because of you. Yes, brother. You wanted me to hear that? Then why did you say it? You wanted me to hear that? Then I didn't hear it. Repeat. And if you didn't want me to hear that, then why did you say it? Be logical. Come on, you're a smart guy. You should know. Guys, because of something, because of somebody, yeah, families break because of women. Families break because of women. Okay. All right. और बताओ. People fight because of, okay, law, because of religion. All right. चलो ये भी सही है. Okay. And city. Would you like to sit on that or this one? Whichever you prefer. Okay. Do you like the plastic chair better? Do you like the plastic chair better? Okay. Fine. From tomorrow, I will keep one plastic chair especially for you here. Okay. Fine. Okay. And get rid of the bag. The bag doesn't matter. Throw the bag away. Just put the bag on the floor and relax. Okay. Take the book in your hands if you want. The practice book, the thinner one. Okay. All right, everybody. So why did the film companies move to California? Because of the sunshine and because of the scenery. All right. Scenery means beautiful locations and all. Okay. Scenery. Okay. Westerns, films about cowboys. Westerns are films about cowboys. Cowboys. Take a look at the picture here. On the right side, there is a photo of a movie, poster, High Noon. Do you see that? And there is a man, he's wearing a hat, he's wearing pants and guns and special clothes. This guy is called a cowboy. So when the cowboys were the main character, they were called westerns. Westerns were films about cowboys. Okay. Westerns became very popular. What became very popular? What were westerns? Rasmalai? No, a type of westerns were a type of movie. What kind of movie were called westerns? Films about cowboys. Westerns, films about cowboys. became very popular. So what were westerns? They were films about cowboys. Okay. इसकी हिंदी नहीं करना है हमें. Okay, westerns westerns ही रहेंगे. ये नहीं कि पश्चिमी कर देंगे. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं. Okay. Westerns became very popular, and California was the perfect place to shoot. California was the right. Okay. STC is the perfect place to learn English, right? Similarly, California was the perfect place to shoot films. Exactly. That's why many people move to, not people, filmmaking companies. All right? Filmmaking companies, movie companies, okay? They move to California because of the sunshine and because of the scenery. All right. By 1914, American films were very popular. By 1914, American films were very popular. Yes. And Hollywood became a movie factory. By 1914, American films were very popular. अब ये बताइए ये क्या हुआ? By 1914 क्यों लिखा? The American films were very popular. क्या हुआ? यानी 1914 की बात हो रही है, उसके पहले की भी बात हो रही है. प्रोसेस, राइट. और वो प्रोसेस 1914 में शुरू नहीं हुआ, 14 तक आते आते वो कंप्लीट हो गया, ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. बाय 1914 अमेरिकन फिल्म्स वर वेरी पॉपुलर. ऑलराइट गाइस. By 1914 American films were very popular and Hollywood became a movie factory. Hollywood movie factory. It became a, like Kota became an engineer factory, right? Yeah. And then slowly it also turned into a suicide factory. All right. Bihar is an IS factory, isn't it? The state of Bihar. Majority of the administrators are Biharis. So Hollywood became a movie factory. In the 1920s, the studios made about 800 films a year. In the 1920s, studios made about 800 films a year. In the 1920s. Now, in the 1920s means we are talking about 1 year or more than 1 year. Which year? 20s means? No, it means 20 to 29. 20s means all those years which have 20 in them, like 1920, 1921, 1922, and so on. So they all have 20 to them, and that's why we can refer to them as one word, 1920s. और हिंदी में 1920 के दशक में ऐसे बोल सकते हैं. Okay, so in the 1920s, you know, in the 1990s, one singer was very popular. In the 1990s, do you know who? Kumar Sanu. In the 1990s, Kumar Sanu was the most popular singer. अब जब मैं कह रहा हूं in the 1990s, then I'm talking about 90, 91, 92, 93, like that, okay? In the period of 10 years. So in the 1990s, Kumar Sanu was the most popular singer. And in 1970s, there were two, Kishore Kumar and Muhammad Rafi. In the 1970s, mainly Kishore Kumar, because Muhammad Rafi was singing earlier as well. But in 1970s, it was Kishore Kumar everywhere. He was perhaps the most popular singer in the 1970s. तो 70s एस लगा देने से वो 10 साल का पीरियड बन जाता है, और खाली 70 बोले तो 1970 एक साल, लेकिन 70 सारे साल जिसमें 70 आता हो, 1971, 72 सारे, until 1979. So in the 1920s, studios made about 800 films a year. How many films? 800 films a year. They made about 800 films a year. Every year they made about 800 films, comma, 82% of the world films. It means these 800 films were 82% of the world's films. Got it? अगर 800 फिल्में 82% थी, तो टोटल फिल्में कितनी होंगी? 1000, 1000 से कम, 1000 से ज्यादा? हाँ, बहुत तेज दिमाग है आप लोगों का, बहुत बढ़िया। 82% 800 है, तो 100% 1000 से तो थोड़ा सा कम ही होगा। ओके, so studios made about 800 films a year, and these 800 films were 82% of the world's films. Yeah. Hollywood alone produced 82% of the world's films. The rest of the world together produced only 18% films. One of the reasons why America became a superpower is American films. American military is one reason. American economy is another reason. And one of the reasons is American films. American films have 3 billion audience all over the world. Nearly half the world's population watches American films. So wherever they watch American films, they know about America. They know about American culture. They see American lifestyle. A lot of them hate them as well, but America is a power, superpower. Next. Hollywoods. ये क्या है? हॉलीवुड का प्लूरल है क्या? हॉलीवुड का, हॉलीवुड के, ये पॉजेसिव है, राइट? Hollywood's silent movie stars such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton became famous throughout the world. Hollywood silent movie stars such as Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton became famous throughout the world. Okay. Yeah, they were not only famous in America, they became famous throughout the world. अब throughout सिखाना जरूरी है? समझ में आ गया? throughout मतलब throughout the world मतलब, right? अगर मैं कहूं पूरे भारत में, तो क्या बोलूंगा? throughout India. Throughout? Okay. Okay. जरा सच एज पे देख लेना. Hollywood silent movie stars such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Such as Hollywood silent movie stars such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Okay. Some of the young students of the class, such as Sachit, Inaya, right? Such as समझ में आया? Okay. Some of the naughty students of the class, such as Sajid and Afia and such as, मतलब समझ उसका एग्जाम्पल देते हैं सच एज बोल के. वहां लिखा है, हाँ हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं जैसे Hollywood silent movie stars such as Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton became famous throughout the world. अब मुंह धुरा के पढ़ना है, जैसे मैं बोलता रहता हूँ ना, 2-3 बार पढ़ चुका हूँ इस सेंटेंस को, तो आप भी 2-3 बार पढ़ ले मेरे साथ साथ. आप चुप ना रहे. आपके एक खराबी क्या है? इनएक्टिव लर्निंग, पैसिव लर्निंग करते हो. आप टीचर बोल रहे हैं, आप चुप रहते हो, हल्का हल्का ही दोहराते ना दिमाग में. थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड. बस्टर किटॉन. ओके, दोहराते रहे, जो मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ आप भी दोहराते रहिए. आपको कुछ करना है, सुनना है और दोहराना है, समझना है. ओके. 1927 to 1940s. I think we will read this text a little later. Let's do the question answers of part 2. Read the second part, we read it, and complete the questions and the answers as well. So, number 1, were the first American films made in? So, where is the question? Where were the first American films made? Where were the first American films made? The first American films, यहां भी फर्स्ट के साथ फिल्म्स लगा है, तो क्या हम पहली फिल्म की बात कर रहे हैं? शुरुआती फिल्में, याद है फर्स्ट स्टेप्स, पढ़े थे फर्स्ट स्टेप्स। तो फर्स्ट मतलब हमेशा पहला नहीं होता है, फर्स्ट मतलब शुरुआत वाला भी होता है। जैसे यहां देख रहे फर्स्ट अमेरिकन फिल्म्स, बोल रहे फर्स्ट स्टेप्स, तो फर्स्ट मतलब कोई जरूरी नहीं कि एक की बात हो रही हो, ठीक है, शुरुआत वाले। वेयर वर द फर्स्ट अमेरिकन फिल्म्स मेड? इन न्यूयॉर्क। The question number 2, why did the film companies move to California? Because of the sunshine and the scenery. Number 3, what kind of film became popular? Westerns. Films about? Oh boy. Yeah. Number 4, when did Hollywood become the movie factory for the world? By 1914. Okay. Okay. By 1914. ये प्रोसेस था, जाके वहां लगा कि अब भैया यहीं बन रहा है सारा। Number 5, how many films did the studios make every year? नहीं, बोलने का भी जरूरत नहीं, अभी क्वेश्चन में नहीं चाहिए वो। How many films did the studios make every year? They made 800 films. These 800 films were 82% of the world's films. Exactly. Number 6. Who were two famous silent movie stars? Silent movie stars. Okay, silent movie stars. मतलब वो silent movie के stars थे. Okay, Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin. Now let's read the third part. 1927 to 1940s, not 40s. The coming of sound. Sound was introduced. The coming of sound. Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1927. Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1927. General knowledge. Hollywood made its first movie. Its first movie. जरा देखना बेटा. Its first movie. Its का मतलब बेटा हॉलीवुड का. Its मतलब हॉलीवुड का. Hollywoods. Its मतलब Hollywoods. Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1927. रुकना. Shah Rukh Khan started his business, okay? क्योंकि शाहरुख खान ही है. अगर मैं कहूं कटरीना कैफ started her business, okay? बात समझ में आई? Shahrukh Khan is famous for his romantic roles. Shahrukh Khan is famous for his romantic roles. Akshay Kumar is more famous for his comedy roles, right? And Rajgir is famous for गड़बड़ कर दिया तुमने, 2 सेंटेंस का पैटर्न नहीं पकड़ा ना. शाहरुख खान इज फेमस फॉर हिज स्टाइल. शाहरुख खान इज फेमस फॉर हिज स्टाइल. Katrina is famous for her beauty and her English. And Rajgir is famous for its beauty. Rajgir is famous for its garam pani kund, public bath, hot public bath, hot public bath. इंग्लिश में बोलना होगा तो हॉट पब्लिक बाथ बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि हॉट बात है और पब्लिक सब लोग एक साथ नहाते हैं, तो पब्लिक बाथ, राइट? ओके, राजगीर इज फेमस फॉर इट्स, and Rajgir is also famous for its mountains and its temples like Shanti Stupa. Silao is famous for its khaja. Silao is famous for its khaja. It's क्यों लगाया मैंने, पता चला ना? Okay. STC is famous for its quality education, quality teaching. All right. Yes, absolutely. Now moving on. It's clear है, ITS है, ये apostrophe नहीं होगा. वो apostrophe आ जाएगा तो it is बन जाएगा. वो words में apostrophe लगाते हैं ना, व्हाट इज, ही में अपॉस्ट्रोफी एस लगाते, ही इज, शी में अपॉस्ट्रोफी एस लगाते, शी इज, तो इट में अपॉस्ट्रोफी एस लगाएंगे, इट इज हो जाएगा। ये है इट्स, ITS। ऑलराइट, हॉलीवुड मेड इट्स फर्स्ट मूवी विद साउंड इन 1927। इंडिया is famous for its glorious history. India is famous for its glorious history. ओके, इट्स बोल रहे हैं हम, ठीक है। कुछ लोग यहाँ हर भी बोलना पसंद करेंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि कुछ लोग इंडिया को ना एक पर्सन के तौर पे देखेंगे, ठीक है। आप देखेंगे कई जगह पे चीजों के लिए हिज और हर यूज होते हुए, तो तैयार रहिएगा, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं होगी उसको देखते। जैसे कुछ लोग कहते हैं इंग्लैंड एंड हर एम्परर्स, ठीक है, तो हर बोलने का मतलब हो गया कंट्री को एक पर्सन के तौर पे देखना। ज्यादातर लोग कंट्री को एक फीमेल के तौर पे देखते हैं, इसलिए वर्ड हिंदी में क्या है, जन्म भूमि, ठीक है, जन्म भूमि। ओके, और बोलते हैं मातृभूमि, पितृभूमि नहीं बोलते, है ना। इसलिए ज्यादातर लोग अपने कंट्री को कैसे देखते हैं, एक फीमेल कैरेक्टर के तौर पे देखते हैं, इसीलिए मातृभूमि वर्ड यूज करता है। एवरीवेयर पीपल यूज द टर्म मातृभूमि फॉर द कंट्री वेयर दे बिलोंग टू और दे कम फ्रॉम। ओके, लूट ले, है ना। हाँ, ऐसे ही होता है। ओह, नहीं मतलब यंग लोग की एनर्जी जो है ना, वो उस पर डायरेक्शन नहीं होता, डायरेक्शन देने का काम बुजुर्गों का है। अगर उन्होंने गलत डायरेक्शन दिया तो वो गलत डायरेक्शन में एनर्जी यूज होगी। आपके पास एनर्जी है, जैसे बड़े लोग चाहेंगे वैसे उस एनर्जी को हार्नेस करेंगे वो, नेगेटिवली पॉजिटिवली, ये उनका डिसीजन होगा। आपके पास सिर्फ एनर्जी है, आपके पास डायरेक्शन, बहुत कम यंग लोगों के पास डायरेक्शन होता है। इट्स जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ देयर एज, यू नो, देयर यंग, दे डोंट नो व्हाट्स राइट रॉन्ग, whatever people will ask them they'll do। Okay, okay. By the end of, where were we? Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1927. First movie with sound. It was called The Jazz Singer. The movie was called The Jazz Singer. The movie was called The Jazz Singer. It was called The Jazz Singer. It matlab the movie, okay? The first movie with sound was called The Jazz Singer. नाम बताना हो ये तरीका सबसे अच्छा है। मेरा एक दोस्त है, आई हैव अ फ्रेंड, उसका नाम राकेश है। ही इज कॉल्ड राकेश, बस इतना आसान है। ओके, सिंपल। हम्म, हिज नेम इज राकेश, सही है, कोई गलत नहीं है, ये ज्यादा कोलोकियल है ये जो मैंने बताया। ओके, या, so the first movie with sound came in 1927. It was called The Jazz Singer. By the end of 1929, फिर से आया ताकि आपको फिर से मिले एक्सपीरियंस। बाय द एंड ऑफ 1929 नियरली ऑल फिल्म्स वर टॉकीज। देखिए फिर से प्रोसेस की बात हुई कि नहीं हुई, फर्स्ट मूवी की बात हो गई ना। द फर्स्ट मूवी विद साउंड वाज इन 1927 एंड बाय द एंड ऑफ 1929 नियरली ऑल फिल्म्स वर टॉकीज। तो ठीक है कि उन्होंने बात करी कि 1929 के 29 खत्म होते होते सारी फिल्में टॉकीज बन गई थी। टॉकीज मतलब समझ में आ रहा है, टॉक करने वाली। पहले खाली मूव करती थी तो मूवीज, अब टॉक करने लगी तो देखो देखो, नहीं, मूविंग पिक्चर शोज मूवीज हो गई, और उसके बाद बात करने लगी तो क्या हो गई। बाय द एंड ऑफ 1929 नियरली ऑल फिल्म्स वर टॉकीज। ये बाद में टॉकीज वर्ड यूज किया गया नाम रखने के लिए सिनेमा हॉल का, फलाना टॉकीज, चिलाना टॉकीज। ओके, because those days it was a great thing that the pictures could talk, you could hear the pictures, right? I mean, there are pictures, moving pictures. If you watch movies of Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton, you will see them moving, but then you wouldn't hear any voices from them, okay? But then those pictures started talking, so that's why they were called talkies. All right, interesting name. By the end of 1929, nearly all films, लगभग सारे, nearly all films, nearly all films means nearly all the students, okay, nearly all parents, लगभग सारे Parents. Okay. Nearly all teachers are very egoistic. Okay. वो वजह है, जो अच्छे टीचर्स होते हैं उनका ईगो ज्यादा रहता है। क्यों पता है? अच्छे टीचर्स का ईगो क्यों रहता है? ईगो मतलब उस तरह से मत देखना कि वो बच्चों को बेइज्जत करना पसंद करते, नो। ईगो मीन्स आप उनको बेइज्जत करोगे तो वो दिल पे लेंगे, बिकॉज दे नो व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इज समथिंग नोबडी एल्स कैन डू। इसलिए अच्छे टीचर्स वो होते हैं जो जानते हैं कि वो कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, तो कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे तो क्या चाहेंगे? रिस्पेक्ट। पैसे से तो दे नहीं सकते हो आप, उसके नॉलेज का बदला चुका नहीं सकते, तो आप मम्मी पापा के काम का पैसा से चुका सकते हो। तो वैसे ही टीचर्स की भी चीजें, आप भले ही घर चलाते हो टीचर्स के पैसे देके, बट वो मत समझना कि नॉलेज के लिए है। वो बस ये एक ग्रेटफुलनेस है कि आपने मुझे सिखाया, सो आई एम ट्राइंग टू हेल्प यू। ठीक है, ये समझना है, ऐसे समझना है। इसको ऐसे मत समझिए कि आप खरीद रहे कोई नॉलेज किसी पैसे से, इट इज नेवर पॉसिबल। ओके, तो नाउ बिगैन, अब जाके शुरू हुआ। नाउ बिगैन व्हाट इज ऑफन कॉल्ड, जिसको अक्सर बुलाते हैं the golden age of Hollywood. Now began what is often called the golden age of Hollywood, with its rich, famous, glamorous film stars such as Clark Gable, Greta Garbo, Humphrey Bogart, and Katharine Hepburn. Okay, so the golden age of Hollywood started with the talkies, right? When the film movies became talkies, the golden age of Hollywood started. And who were the famous, glamorous, rich stars of the time? Clark Gable, Greta Garbo, Humphrey Bogart. These guys were rich, famous, and glamorous film stars of Hollywood. They were during the golden age of Hollywood. They were during the अब जरा एक बार इस लाइन को फिर से पढ़ते हैं। नाउ बिगैन व्हाट इज ऑफ्टन कॉल्ड द गोल्डन एज ऑफ हॉलीवुड, with its rich, famous, glamorous film stars such as da 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 and da da da. Okay, एक बार और पढ़ लेते हैं। Now began what is often called the golden age of Hollywood, with its rich, famous, glamorous film stars such as da 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 da. Got it? The names don't count. काहे के लिए? हमको नेम से क्या लेना देना? हम तो ये कर रहे हैं ताकि हम इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज के साथ ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल हो सके, राइट? अब जाके शुरू हुआ दोनों गुटों के बीच एक जबरदस्त खून खून खराबा, ऐसे करके नरेटिंग होती है ना, वो गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर में से इस पढ़ा सुना होगा, तो वैसे ही है। नाउ बिगैन व्हाट हिस्ट्री विल ऑलवेज रिमेंबर एज, ओके, द बिगेस्ट राइवलरी। ओके, नाउ बिगैन, अब जाके शुरू हुआ। ओके, नाउ exercise 3, you have to underline the incorrect information and you have to correct it as well. Okay, Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1918. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. अच्छा, it didn't कैसे बोले? Hollywood के लिए it बोले, और made का didn't make, तो no, it didn't. Hollywood made its first movie with sound in 1918. No, Hollywood didn't make its first movie with sound in 1918.